What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving my predictions for UFC Fight Night, Usman versus Buckley. So let's get right into it. So this card is looking pretty good for this weekend, this Saturday. Pretty sure it's set for June 14th. Yep. There's a couple pretty decent fighters that have been around on this card. So we'll start down here from around the bottom. Ricky Simone, I'm pretty sure he's the one that submitted Merab. And Cameron Smotherman, I know he lost like literally 2 weeks ago or whatever, 3 weeks ago. That's how it doesn't seem that long ago. Maybe it was a little bit longer, but I guess I'll go Ricky Simone. Haven't really seen him fight too much, but I know we got the guillotine submission over Merab, but Merab kind of won that fight. He survived the guillotine, but it's whatever. Going up, we got Cody Durden. I'm pretty sure he lost to Joshua Van, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he lost to Joshua Van, and Cody Durden was ranked, I believe, but I'm not too sure. I guess I'll go with him. Odds are pretty close. I've never seen this guy fight. I haven't seen too much of Cody Durden either, but we'll go with him. And finally, going up to Malcolm Wellmaker versus Chris Mutino. Chris Mutino, the famous colored hair kid that fought Sean O'Malley, and Malcolm Wellmaker just getting started, and he's just absolutely annihilated Cameron Simon. Malcolm Wellmaker quit being a plumber, quit his job because he got the $50,000 bonus. So let's see what he can do in the UFC. But Chris Mutino, while he's been out of the UFC, we got to remember he's still young. He's like 32 or 33. While he's been out of the UFC, he got put on a 5-fight win streak. And now he's back in the UFC. He might have just fought absolute bums, but let's see I want to see what he can do. I kind of want to go Chris Mutino on this one, but I feel like that's going to be a really bad pick. Malcolm Wellmaker might just destroy him because we haven't really seen much of Malcolm Wellmaker other than on the Dana White Contender Series, which I don't watch. I see clips of it and stuff, but I've only watched a few of a couple well-known fighters that have started from there. I've only seen their fights, but other than that, Malcolm Wellmaker, I didn't see his. So I don't know how well he's going to perform. I kind of want to see. This is going to be a good test for him, and this will be a good test for Chris Mutino to see if he can get back in the UFC. But let's see what happens in this fight. Moving up the card, Michael Chiesa versus Court McGee. I'm pretty sure I saw Court McGee. He fought what's his name? Tim Means. And Michael Chiesa beat Tony Ferguson. I don't think that was Michael Chiesa's last fight was someone different, though. I believe his win against Tony Ferguson was his second to last win. But I want to see Michael Chiesa low-key get back up the rankings. That'd be pretty cool. But I'm going to obviously go with Michael Chiesa, minus 345 favorite. I've seen Court McGee fight. He's not real good anymore, at least. I remember he was somewhat okay when he was in his prime, but now he's just old. But we'll see. Moving up the card again, Paul Craig versus Rodolfo Bellato. Paul Craig fighting out of Scotland, where my family's from. Excited for this fight. I want to see Paul Craig win. He's moving back up to light heavyweight, where he's had huge amounts of success in the past. I want to see if he can get back on that train of success. He went down to middleweight and just got the absolute shit beaten out of his chin. I want to see if he'll still hold up now that he's going to be all rehydrated back up at 205. But Rodolfo Bellato, he's got a lot of power. I know he trains with or Alex Pereira trains him or trains with them, their partners, teammates, whatever. I seen Alex Pereira in his corner. So I want to see how this fight plays out. Paul Craig is a big underdog, but I'm gonna choose Paul Craig. I don't know. I might just be a little bit biased since, I got ties to Scotland and all, but I'm gonna choose Paul Craig. I don't think it's a crazy pick, but I think I could see him getting the submission off somehow. Let's see the odds in this fight actually. To win by submissions, 70. Yeah, I think he could definitely get the KO because I've seen him against, I believe it was Jimmy Crute. Yeah, last fight ended in... Why isn't it showing us? Oh, that's strange. Yeah, it doesn't show us what their last fight ended in. But, yeah, I want to see Paul Craig win this one. So, moving back up. Alonzo Menafield. Alonzo Menafield has much more experience than Umar Sy. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But, I haven't really watched too much of either of these guys. Never seen this guy fight. I've seen Alonzo Menafield fight a couple times. Don't really remember, though. No memorable performances except for one. One of his last ones, I believe. It was a war, if I'm not sure. I forget who it was against, but it was just a back and forth, crazy paced. But I heard Alonzo Menafield could possibly pull this one off. I don't know enough about this fight to make a pick, but since he's such a big favorite, I'll go with Umar Sy, I guess. Don't know too much about him. I've heard of this guy. Moving up, I've heard of this guy. And then Cody Brundage, I know he fought Bo Nickel. He's fought a bunch of people. He's just kind of he's just had a strange career from what I heard. He's not too good from what I heard and what I know. But hopefully this fight can be entertaining. I want to see some entertainment on this card, so I want to see if this is going to be maybe a performance of the night. I don't know. I don't know enough about a lot of these fights in this card to be making good picks. But we'll see what happens. Now moving up, finally some decently well known names. Cody Garbrandt versus Raoni Barcelos. I've seen Barcelos fight before. I saw him fight Peyton Talbot. He absolutely dominated him, and I wanted him to win that fight. I had him. I didn't have him as my pick, but I wanted him to win. And he said in the post-fight interview he used his wrestling, and he found that was the way to win after he saw some success with that in the fight. So I want to see if he could possibly get some success with holding down Cody Garbrandt. But I know Cody Garbrandt, he's got the elite striking, somewhat elite striking, with a lot of KO power and speed. And I know from what I've heard, he has a bit of wrestling experience in his past. So we'll see how far that wrestling brings him. But I'm going to choose Cody Garbrandt with this one. I think I saw Barcelos in that fight against Peyton Talbot get rocked a few times. I'm just going to say now, I think Garbrandt's got more power and is a more precise striker than Peyton Talbot. So I'm going to go Garbrandt with this one. Probably by knockout, TKO. I'm going to go TKO. By possible ground and pound, or maybe just he stops it standing or something like that, but we'll see. I think maybe Barcelos gets actually reversed. Something like that could happen, but we'll see how this fight plays out. Going up, Edmund, whatever. I haven't heard of him actually. I don't know, if I'm just a complete casual, but I haven't heard of a lot of names on this card. Andre Petrosky. I've heard of him actually before. I think I've seen him fight. Whoa. Oh yeah, I've seen this guy fight. The Soviet hammer and sickle. That's what caught my eye, and that's what actually reminded me. I've seen him fight before. But I don't really got a pick for this fight. I guess I'll go Petrosky since I know who he is. But moving up the card, Namajunas versus Marina Maverick. I don't watch too much women's MMA. I know Rose Namajunas has not found much success at flyweight since she moved up from strawweight when she was the strawweight champ. But number 7th right now. I think I'm gonna go Rose Namajunas. Miranda Maverick's pretty buns from what I know. I don't think I've seen her fight before too much, but I'll go Rose Namajunas. Just throwing a pick out there. But if you're betting, I would not say bet on this fight because based off of my picks, I have no idea really about women's MMA. And finally, on the main event, this is the fight I'm so excited for. I'm hyped for this fight. Kamaru Usman on a 3-fight losing streak, Joaquin Buckley on a 5-fight winning streak. But we got to remember, Kamaru Usman's coming from a dark place, but he's also coming from a good place. Kamaru Usman had, 5, I believe it was 5 title defenses. Gilbert Burns, Jorge Masvidal twice, Colby Covington twice. Who else was it? He beat Tyron for the belt, Tyron Woodley. He's coming off of a good run, but then followed by a couple losses. Those losses being to Leon twice. The first one wasn't a robbery because it was obviously a knockout, the head kick knockout. But Kamaru Usman was dominating that fight, and a lot of people have argued the second fight was a robbery, possibly because of UK judges or whatever. But I know a lot of times the judges are international, so it could have gone either way. Kamaru Usman, he's got decent wrestling. He's got power. He doesn't have that precise striking, but it's good enough to get by. And in this fight, he's got the experience plus the cardio. Joaquin Buckley sometimes gasses out, as we see. But the thing with Kamaru Usman right now is his knees. His knees are absolutely shot. He was a world champion, second greatest of all time, number 5th 170 fighter in the world right now, and his knees are absolutely shot. He has to walk downstairs backwards. That's just insane. That when that touches my mind, that just blows me away. But Joaquin Buckley doing really good right now with wins over people like Colby Covington, Wonder Boy, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and Vicente Luque. But though that reminds me, those people aren't good. A 41-year-old Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, old Colby Covington that was on a 3-fight losing streak and is still on a 3-fight losing streak, and Joaquin Buckley didn't even finish the fight. He had to win by doctor stoppage. He was obviously dominating the fight, but you could see he was starting to. He was definitely still in control of the fight, but he was. You could, if you picked up on his body language, you could see he was slightly slowing down, but it wasn't at a rate that was really affecting his performance. He was still going absolutely wild in that fight. He was smashing him. Colby Covington was getting obliterated, and yep. But Kamaru Usman's plus 225 in this fight, and Joaquin Buckley's minus 278. I'm choosing Kamaru Usman. I don't know if I'm crazy for that, but his cardio, his chin, his wrestling ability, I think he's just I think he's the much better fighter than Joaquin Buckley. What can Joaquin Buckley do to get Usman? Other than the KO power, which actually is a big factor, but if the only way I see Joaquin Buckley is catching him within the first 2 to 3 rounds. But I think as the fight goes on, Kamaru Usman's really going to put the pace on him, because we got to remember that Kamaru Usman's going to perform a lot better than Colby Covington and Wonder Boy. But I mean, I'm choosing Kamaru Usman, but it's been a while. Remember, his last fight, his loss was, he had 2 losses to Leon Edwards, and he lost the Hamzat fight. Well, the Hamzat fight was starting to go in his direction. Joaquin Buckley, yeah, I could just see Joaquin Buckley catching him. The one thing I'm scared about is that this pick is gonna age absolutely horribly. That's what I'm scared about. But I'm choosing Kamaru Usman. I'm pretty confident in this pick. I think I don't see what Buckley can do to get Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman hasn't fought in nearly 2 years. His chin, I'm I want to say his chin's more than likely recovered because he already had that other Hamzat fight. He didn't get chinned there. And then the Leon fight, he didn't get chinned there. It's been a while since he took that head kick, and I think his chin's recovered a lot. Although the one thing I am a little nervous about is his chin because of Buckley's power, and then his possible cardio and his knees, but mainly his cardio because of his age. But we'll see what happens. I'm gonna choose Kamaru Usman. I'm gonna actually go with Kamaru Usman probably by decision. If Kamaru Usman could get a dominant win here, he's right there. He's right back in the title picture. He's right there in the title picture as maybe a backup fighter or something like that. But if he can get one more win after that, then he's right there. Absolutely, he's basically guaranteed another title shot. But we'll see what happens. But that's my predictions for UFC Fight Night: Usman versus Buckley in Atlanta this Saturday, June 14th. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.